So, okay, any more questions? Two more questions. So let's go to you and then we'll end with you.
Okay, I was just curious, has your column sparked any other columnists to like make another column about a different race that people have to?
Has my column sparked imitators? Absolutely. I'm humbled by that. The problem though is that people say they're going to do it and then they never really follow through. Like there was a really good column called Ask a Cuban American, and he did it for a couple months and it was cool. I loved reading it. I sent in some questions and he said, specifically said, I got the inspiration from your column. And then he just ended it. And then like NPR, I got mad at NPR. Well, I got mad at NPR because they did an Ask an Arab bit. And it wasn't even funny though. It was really, really boring. It was two Arab comedians doing it. And then the joke that I had is like, hey, they ripped off my column, but everything's a rip-off of everything. There was Ask a Gay Guy in LA radio during the 1980s, or some people say I ripped off Dave Chappelle's Ask a Black Dude bit. And actually, I'd never heard of it before that. The only column that has continued that is, rip-off of mine is Ask a Korean. So Google Ask a Korean. He's been doing it every week. God, almost 4 years. And it's great. I mean, his writing is cool. And just whatever question you may have about Koreans, he does that. He's a little bit more serious than me. He does have his jokes, but he's a little bit more serious than me. But you learn so much from it. And I wish there would be more of those columns. I think it's cool. I think it's cool that people would be inspired by my column to start something of their own in that same vein. So last question.
My question is about, there's been a huge growth of all these gourmet food trucks recently, which are clearly appropriating the Mexican taco truck, which is very, very working class and like ordinary, but all these new trucks are gourmet and they're like all these hipsters, or like they're not even like on the east side anymore, they're like on the west side, and like McKinney, and that just seems like all the people who are going to those big gourmet trucks might not even realize the tradition that it's coming out of Mexican street food, and it doesn't have to do with like these gourmet foods. I just wonder if you have any comments about this.
Sure. What comments do I have about the gourmet the gourmet truck, what would you call it, food truck explosion? As a food critic, like ultimately as a food editor, it's my responsibility to tell people where there's good food. So I don't care if it's Satan selling you good food. If it's good food, I'll tell you. Koji Taco Truck, I like it. I think people, well, nowadays it's a little bit different. It's no longer the waiting in 2-hour line phenomenon. But when I ate it, I thought it was good. I didn't think it was great. I wouldn't wait 2 hours again. I haven't found any of those gourmet trucks that I really like. So I've never reviewed one, any of the ones that are in Orange County. They just don't appeal to me. I do think, what's up? The cheese trucks? Yeah, it doesn't really appeal to me. Like, and here's the thing with those gourmet trucks. It is a fad. It is a phenomenon. You go to these trucks and you buy something for $5 when traditionally you could buy 2 tacos for $1 and free pineapple juice, and there it is. Are hipsters appropriating that? Yes and no. I mean, obviously they're making a business out of it, and they're riding this wave, and they don't really know the history, the pioneers, frankly, that made all those street trucks legal. But at the same time, that started because those people who started it, they love going to taco trucks. They love going out there and eating and, giving them business. Who am I to say, I don't want hipsters at my favorite taco truck? Those business owners, they'd say, no, bring on all the hipsters of the world. Bring on all the loncheras. So I do think it's funny, though. I do think it's funny that now, all of a sudden, it's acceptable to have these taco trucks, that they're not called roach coaches, or that the city's allowing them to congregate. Like, there was that big festival where they had all the gourmet foods where you had to pay $5 to come in. It was insane. It was ridiculous. And what was even crazier is that all these, it was a huge smashing success. The city of Los Angeles or the county of Los Angeles would have never allowed a bunch of Mexicans to do that in a million years. Not in a million years. It took non-Mexicans to do that. And still those same loncheras, those same ones run by Mexican immigrants, they still have to suffer the harassment that the mobile food trucks don't. And, and by the way, all those mobile food trucks, if you run a mobile food truck in Southern California, you have to go through so many regulations, it's not funny. Because I did a story about the taco trucks in Orange County, about, because there was a case, I featured some of the taco trucks, and if you have a taco truck, you have to park in a certain place, you have to, it's so complicated. this question like, oh, you know, you can't trust roach coaches because they're all illegal. No, they're not. No, they're not. They don't pay taxes. Yeah, they do pay taxes. So it's quite a phenomenon. So again, I'm all for good food. And you know, if there's hipsters that sell great, like if that grilled cheese truck is as good as it is, you know, I'm more than happy to write about it. And I've tried them, and they're okay, but just nothing that really wows me. It's really much ado about nothing. So you'll see those gourmet food trucks like fads, like pinkberry and cupcakes. It'll recede, and then you'll have just a plain old good lonchera selling you 2 tacos for $1 and free pineapple juice. So that's all I have to say for today. Thank you so much.